I decided this week we'd do a character profile on Judge Dredd because I didn't know who else to do it. We haven't done one on him. He's a lesser known character in the grand scheme of the world. People probably over the age of 25 will recognise the name instantly. Younger than 25, you might get a lot of people who don't actually know the name anymore.
I feel like you just called me old.
No, it's just the right time because of the films he had and stuff. So, again, this is going to be one of the shorter ones, but it is a great character with a lot of good stories. If you like the sound of this, it might be worth trying to find an old Judge Dredd comic. So the character originally is from 2099. His first comic book appearance was 1977. And he is what is known as a senior street judge in Mega City 1. This is very 70s and 80s style science fiction. Basically, in this future, it's post-apocalyptic world. There's like 2 or 3 mega cities across America, which is basically just a wasteland other than these 3 cities. As a result, you've got these massive cities that are just built to the brim, and as a result, poverty, crime, all that horrible stuff runs rampant. So what they did was their police force is full of judges instead of police officers. The judges are the law. They have the power to be judge, jury, and executioner. So if a person has done a crime that is severe enough to be executed, they can be executed on the spot. Yeah, so punishment's handed out on the spot as the judge sees fit. Across all of these judges, there is one judge that everyone knows and everyone fears the most, Judge Dredd. He is a clone of the chief of the police when it first started. And when we first interact with Judge Dredd in his first comic, he's already been doing the job for like 15, 20 years. So he's like a hardened veteran. And he is a different kind of like superhero. First and foremost, he's an officer of the law, which is a particularly violent and militant regime. But he's also like kind of bordering on superhuman because of his training from like the age of 13. They have super advanced sleep chambers, which means he only actually sleeps for 10 minutes a day. The other 23 hours and 50 minutes, he is out working. He will fight all crime. He doesn't in his comics. He doesn't just deal with like the big like super bad guys like Judge Death. Yeah, the names are very 70s and 80s. He will fight even little crimes. That is kind of a point of contention because he has questioned on multiple occasions like how brutal this police state is. But he is the law. He is the law. He has to follow the law. But it's very much this character is a product of their time.
Yeah.
That he's been born into and bred by a world where the police are brutal. They have to execute on their orders at all times and do what the law says and enforce the law to the letter. So he does it. But there has been times in the comics he's gone, this just feels kind of wrong. It's some of the stuff would definitely border on what we'd call today propaganda. Like definitely, there's no way it doesn't. But there is also a lot of interesting stuff in there. As long as you're not the kind of person, as long as you're not the kind of person who's gonna read this stuff and go, "Oh, it's brilliant! The police should be able to execute people all the time," blah 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 blah, and you can like enjoy media while still being able to criticize the less than ideal parts of it, you'll have a great time. If you're the kind of person who reads something, gets drawn in by something that looks kind of cool and shiny, and then can't think for themselves, maybe give it a skip.
Good advice.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it.